wheel chock was an incredible addition. Airline not installed yet. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of the motorcycle lift install. Basically, I have to cut the concrete, little hole here, so I can actually get to the pedals to bring this up and down, mostly down because it is pneumatically actuated. But this one should help out a lot with bringing everything up and down with the motorcycles and giving me more access to work. Because the blue one that I had in here previous, I wasn't able to do that, and that's my own fault. So let's get to work. Oh yeah, and I protected all the bikes. So that's the saw we're using. It's a 12-inch. It's about 7.5 deep, so I have about 5 inches of cutting capacity, approximately. This is the size of the area where I'm going to cut it out. I have another drill and stuff that I'm going to put into this and kind of chip up some of the stuff, but for hammer, concrete jackhammer thing. But I've measured this out for my foot so that I can pump it up when my foot's inside the area. I want to say the area, excavation area. There we go. And then to let it down, same amount. So I can go back and forth. And then I'm going to have a box to cover this all in, make it out of stainless steel, and it'll be nice and pretty. Put a little lever on it, and then I'll do my concrete work later on down the road. So this is what we're cutting out. So now we're going to flip this up, secure it into place, and then get the cutting. Time to hammer drill. Now that everything's marked out, we have a plan of action. Time to get out the hammer drill with water to clear out any of the concrete dust and to keep the dust low. We're going to use the 4-inch bit to start the cutout of the pit. And after this, we'll be finishing the cuts with the concrete saw. Quickly, we realize that we need to do more than just a couple cuts. So we just start sectioning it. And at which point, we start using the concrete hammer drill to bust it out and make this all work. Now time to suck up the water. See where we're at. So I'm using my smaller vacuums because I lent out my big vacuum and it got burnt out. Lack of a good story, it got burnt out. So we have a big issue with trying to suck up this water and emptying out these vacuums on a very regular basis. Later on, I started emptying it into a bucket, which actually helps quite a bit. Additionally, we did some more cutting, and now we're removing the material, putting it into the buckets, and we'll be doing some more cutting, and then again, sucking out the excess water that's in the pit currently. All this being said, things are looking really good. Don't really have any complaints, and I'm very happy that I put the plastic over top of the motorcycles. The next thing I realized once I cleared everything out and sucked up the water and everything like that is I could go a bit lower with the concrete, and when I go to pour the pit in the future, I can make it a lot better if I just took out a little extra concrete since I already have the saw, and give myself more room to do the work later on. And I think it would look better too if I remove more of the concrete so you don't see as much of the cutting as was in the previous plan. All in all, it's working out nicely. Well, there you have it. There's all the rubble. There's the mess. There's some more of the mess. The poor little vacuum that was meant for car detailing because my other vacuums got blown up because I lent it out. And I'm just going to clean up all this area, vacuum all this up. I'll do that off and then take that back, and then we're good for today. I'll show you once I get all this cleaned up. Always remember, before you take a tool back, make sure it's clean. That way you don't get any extra charges for cleaning. And this is why I made this part of the video, just in case they want to give me that charge. I'm like, no, that's not happening. And it has happened in the past, and they weren't even dirty. I always bring stuff back clean. That being said, this is how you cover your butt. Nice and clean, just like Home Depot likes it. Alrighty guys, it's all as good as it's gonna get. There's some stone in here. I'm a little frozen, it's cold outside. Evidently, I salted that and cleaned up some of the ice that was forming from cleaning off the saw. Put this back on because I'm going to get to it later, I don't think. And then that just shimmies in place. So this whole thing is going to be pushed into there. And then I'm going to have to do a couple things to, massage it into its resting place for now. I went to move these into place, and I was gonna bend them forward, and they literally just snapped off because they didn't have a penetrating weld. So that doesn't say anything of quality, but I'm not too worried about that. You can see here what I mean. Like there was no penetration, so it should have been able to bend without snapping, and it didn't quite do that. Same with this side. It kind of snapped without any kind of weld penetration. And now to install the lift into there. When installing the motorcycle lift, you have to be very careful because this is a scissor lift, and well, if you get stuck with your fingers in it, it could damage you, and you don't want that, not in the slightest. However, it went pretty well considering it was never meant to be in this style of pit. I do have to do some fabrication, as you see coming up, and part of that is just a little bit of grinding off one of the sides, and that way we can get the wheels to fit inside the pit. And once they're in, those wheels aren't falling off, so I don't have to worry about it too much. Alrighty, so we're in place. I fixed a couple seals for the pneumatic system, which is one of the reasons why I couldn't get it to work properly. Used Teflon tape for that. Now, if I want this to go up without the pneumatic system, I have this guy right here, and this is in manual mode. You'll see that it goes up. That'll stay in the pit, which I'm also thinking of doing. I'm digging it down a bit and having a little tub in here, so if anything like rad fluid or oil, or if I'm washing something, it can drain into here, and then I can empty it out via a pump later on. Now to bring the motorcycle lift down, right there, and if you want it to go up, so I'm gonna need a lot more air in that tiny little pump. That's good to know. I do have bigger air compressors. That was just a test. But, so yeah, I'm going to install the rest of the components on here. And for now, it's just going to be manual because that guy does not have enough power. Now we're installing the wheel chock plus the tie downs. And the wheel chock on this thing is bloody awesome. Like you saw at the beginning of the video, it just hugs the tire. And I am so thankful that we decided to switch this out. Well, I decided to switch this out because the Vice version of the motorcycle lift kind of sucked. It was problematic and it wouldn't stand up on its own. This one, once it's locked in, it's locked in. This is the adapter. Goes into the hose, goes into your air compressor, blows out your lines. Great for winterizing your cottage, trailer, and or your home for the hoses. So guys, it's winter time and you don't want to have your hose freezing. So I use this little trailer adapter to clear out the lines. You can also use a vacuum, as you see there in the background, but that kind of sucks. So we have that in place. That's all powered up for my tiny little workhorse. And there you go. Well, apparently my head was in the way on that. Alrighty, so now we're gonna lower this thing and see what happens. Beautiful. And then we have our ramp. Which is not needed. As you can see here, that's for when it's higher up, because it won't lock into place. So we'll probably never use that, honestly. I'm beat, but this is a huge, can't even think of the word, I'm so tired. Improvement, that's the word. Again, we're gonna cover this little hole up here with a grate, and then build maybe a tub in there, so if any fluids fall into it, like radiator fluid, oil, whatever, or when you wash the bike, it'll be nice and easy clean out. Maybe even install a pump if I get too excited. Let's get this bike on the lift. Let's test the ramp with an actual motorcycle. Wow. I put that there as a safety, but no hands. Wow. That literally caresses the front tire like a little baby. That is awesome. All right, time to put the straps back on just for safety, but I'm impressed. Even though the airline is not hooked up, we can still pump up the motorcycle lift manually, and we just tie everything off. She's beautiful. The motorcycle does have a safety bar in the case or the event of the hydraulics failing, so it catches it. That has since been removed, so we can lower down the motorcycle lift nice and safely, and you can control it every aspect of the lowering process. Pretty nifty, pretty awesome, and safe. And there you have it. So the tire chock for the front part of the motorcycle is bloody amazing. I don't even need my straps and holding it up like I used to. So I'm in love. I am really in love with the stand and the spike. But yeah, this makes my life so much easier. And just put a grate right here, make it all nice. Nice, beautiful. So thanks for watching, guys. We now have a better motorcycle lift. Looks pretty snazzy. I'm beat, but this is a huge, can't even think of the word, I'm so tired. Improvement, that's the word. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.